Read lips? You were muted. She's not listening to me. Okay.
I'm here. Go ahead. We're recording.
Are you reading numbers or no?
No, I don't have them right now, but okay, I can get them.
Okay.
If you want to start it off.
All right. Okay, so Libby posted in the team page a question and answer. So there are some questions posted, and I'm just going to go ahead and answer those questions. This doesn't have to just be me answering questions. If anybody else has something that they'd like to add to it, feel free to add something to it. And then at the end, if anybody has any other questions and we have time, you can go ahead and ask those and we'll try to get those answered. All right, sorry, I'm gonna be like, I'm splitting the screen. Give me 1 second, second read. Okay, so the first question, how do you respond exactly when they immediately want to know the price? So after you invite and somebody comes back, they're either interested, but they want to know the price, I typically kind of hold off on the price. I'll tell them something like, okay, well, there's a bunch of options, but first let's talk a little bit about your goals, what you're doing currently, and then we'll figure out a plan, and then we can, talk about the price. And then I go through the whole, they'll tell me what their goals are, what they're currently doing, and then I'll give them a few options, or not a few. I usually give them 2 options of what I think would be best for them. 21-day fix is typically one of them, and then, whatever the other one, PIO or whatever. And, I either give them the Beachbody YouTube video that they can check both of them out, and then tell them, which one looks good to you, or which one do you think you'd enjoy more. And then I give them the price. I don't hide the price. I don't make it, I don't know. I tell them exactly it's $160 for, and I give them everything they're going to get for $160. So when they do ask for the price, make sure you're still finding out their needs, how this is going to help them reach their goals, and all of that before you give them the price. Don't just write back, okay, it's going to be $160, and they have no clue what's involved in $160 besides that they're joining a challenge group, that they probably don't even know what a challenge group is. So that's pretty much how I address the price. And like I said, don't try to mask the price. Don't try to keep pushing it off and pushing it off. I mean, because then they'll kind of think you're being sketchy about, I think at least that's how I would feel. But I hope that answered that one.
So how do you explain your challenge groups? Like what do you list? Like when you said you tell them everything, so how do you explain Shakeology in there?
So I basically, when I say something about Shakeology, I basically tell them what it's done for me. So I'll tell them, as a mom of 3, I used to always skip breakfast, and I'm not even gonna lie, I still do sometimes. But I'll tell them I used to skip breakfast all the time. I can now just grab a shake and take it with me when I drop the kids off at school. We don't need to stop at McDonald's or Chick-fil-A all the time. I'll tell them that sort of thing, how it has changed my life. I don't necessarily give them all the nutritional facts and all of that, because that doesn't interest me, and that's not why I'm drinking it, to be honest. But I do that, but I focus on the challenge group, because I find a lot of people that want to join my challenge group lack the support, motivation, and all of that. I don't really have to sell Shakeology. Not a lot of people ask me about it, to be honest. So I focus more on the challenge group side, and I tell them that they'll be in a private group with, other women who are doing the same type of program as them. We're going to support and motivate each other. We're going to share recipes. I'm going to be that hand that's going to, pull them along when they're having a bad day and they want to give up, that kind of stuff. So when I am talking about challenge groups and what they're going to get for the $160, that's what I focus on the most, is the support system, the motivation that we're going to do, recipe sharing. We're going to help with meal planning to make sure that they are well prepared before we even start the challenge. So going off of that, I spend 2 weeks with my challenge groups before they even start. And we basically go over meal planning, how to meal plan, how to prep, all of that stuff, so that when they do start the workout and all of that, the meal planning is not overwhelming at that point, because it can take some people a while to do that. But Yeah, when we talk about price, I just pretty much focus on that challenge group and the support system. Did I answer you, Libby? Yeah. Okay.
Oh, it's good because that's what everyone needs. Because you guys have to remember that you can get a fitness program anywhere. I mean, there's Jillian Michaels, Bob Harper, there's tons of them all over the place. There's tons of supplements, even though I think that our supplement is the best and nothing else compares to it. What the most important part about these challenge groups is that you actually care about that person. And when they don't show up or they are suffering or they're lagging behind, that you're like, hey, let's meet up in the group and, high five. So that I've seen you done your sweaty workout, what's your have you made any progress? How's it going? Or even to call someone out and say, you committed at the beginning to do this. I'm here every day and I want you here too. Like, it's important. And so that's the difference between us and everybody else, because one, it's 24/7, really. I mean, whether it's you or someone else, if they check into a group on Sunday at 5 a.m. going, man, I'm really tired. I think I might want to quit. There's going to be somebody in that group that's going to go, hey, don't do that. Or, hey, I'm here for you. What's going on? Blah, blah, blah. So the difference is our support and encouragement combined with the Shakeology and the fitness. And it's just really I kind of think of it as like a three-legged stool. I mean, one can't really work without the other. So.
All right, let me see. Sorry, and I talk fast, I know that, so you'll get the recording. What exactly do the free groups look like and how do they work? So I'm assuming that's free challenges, yeah, okay. So when I'm doing a free challenge, I'm pretty much focusing more on showing them the support group, what it's like. I do care about results and that kind of thing as well, but I'm focused more on showing them how the challenge group works itself, okay? I told my team this, like, when you're in the free challenge, you're like the cheerleader, okay? You're all excited for them. You're going to, post motivational things. You're going to help them figure it out. You're going to, kind of just have fun with, sorry, I'm moving around, kind of have fun with it, okay? I know a lot of people who do free events, they spend all this time, like, coming up with this, like, crazy workout plan and this crazy, and, like, they're kind of missing the whole, like, idea behind it because they're so focused on, like, okay, but you have to do 125 push-ups and this and this and this and this, and they're doing all these videos about how to do a push-up, and to me, that's not why I do the free challenge. So with a free challenge, I typically make it a public event, and I usually spend 2 weeks, sometimes a week, it just depends on how organized I am, setting it up. So sharing about it on my Facebook wall, posting in the free event, just getting them geared up and motivated to start the free challenge. You can ask them to add 5 of their friends to the group to, help them along, and they can work as a little team. But I really think of it as like a cheerleader style. I'm just really in there, like, being excited for them, and sharing a lot of stuff that can help them to stay on track. But I find, like, the free challenge workouts from, like, Pinterest and stuff like that, and I kind of just edit them in PicMonkey to, fix it up. But I don't spend a lot of time doing the workout stuff and all of that. And then I'll have to share a document that I have about how I set up free challenges exactly, like how I make it a public event, how I invite to it, what I post, like, prior to the event starting, and then all of that. But, I make sure that I have in the cover photo is the workout for the 2 weeks. That way they're not private messaging me every day, what's today's workout, or where can I get a calendar? It's right there in the Facebook cover of the group. In the description of the group, I have the YouTube links to what each move is, so they can go there and figure out, if they don't know how to do a push-up, it will take them to a YouTube video that teaches them how to do a push-up. And then I just have a daily post that I do in the group, and I ask them to, comment below when they finish the workout. Sometimes I'll ask them a question, I'll share a recipe, I'll do a motivational quote, I'll ask them what they're struggling with, or, you know, is this getting easier? You know, those types of things. But I just post daily in there from that point forward. Also with my free challenges, depending on how big they are, I do try to private message them at some point during it and just say, hey, I've noticed you're, you know, really working on this free challenge. You know, how are you feeling? And I kind of try to connect with them on a personal level, not just in the group. Obviously, if you have, you know, 1,000 some odd people, that might not work. But that's also a good time to check in with the people that you notice that are in the event that maybe started for day 1, day 2, day 3, and then they're not posting anymore. And just checking in with them like, hey, I saw you were posting, you know, on day 1, 2, and 3. Did you get day 4 in there? And that kind of opens up the relationship building with some of these people that you may not know at all. So I will tell you, not all free challenges are the same. So I've done free challenges and the group is great and they all post and it's wonderful. And I've done other free challenges where I'm like talking to myself. So it happens. It's not, there's not really anything I think that you, I mean, sometimes it could be you, but I mean, I did 2 of the challenges and they were pretty much the same thing and it was complete opposites. But I have had coaches sign on from being in a free challenge with me. I've had numerous challenge packs sold, so they're definitely worth it. The only thing that I also, this is me personally, and obviously you can do whatever, I don't recommend doing them every single month because some people will catch on that you just always do all this free stuff and they'll never invest in anything other than that because they're just like free challenge gurus. Like they just jump in every so often. So I do it typically every other month and I kind of switch them up with what they are. I, you know, as far as like a buns and guns or, you know, an ab one or whatever, I kind of change it up every other month. But I can share the document that I have about the free challenge and just kind of how I set it up and all of that in the team page. Sorry, I have to. I should have read these questions. How do you add new people to your friends list? Do you find a new interest group weekly? Sorry, somebody messaged me. Or stick with a few and generate new friends from there? So I have not explored any interest groups. Not at all. I probably should, but I was just telling my team this the other night, and I have not done any interest groups. I typically add new friends, mutual friends, or kind of at this point, I get a lot of new friend requests from people asking me to be their friends, from either my friends like commenting on my stuff, and since my page is public, I guess like all of their friends see that in the news feed, like, this happened today. Shannon White, you know, posted on Kelly King's wall, and then 2 of Shannon's friends friend requested me, like literally like minutes after she posted. So that's kind of, I guess, one of the benefits of having your page public is that it kind of notifies all their friends of things. But if not, then I just add mutual friends. When I do free challenges, I have them send me a friend request. You know, I tell them, send me a friend request if we're not friends, so you can keep up to date with other challenges and tips and whatever else. So I get a lot of friend requests from that. But I haven't done any interest groups yet. So I can't tell you anything on that. Anybody else? Anybody do interest groups? I don't know.
I do, and I can add a few things for you there. So one thing that she mentioned was making your page public. Is there anybody here that has not done that is still private? Can I see a raise of hands from anybody? Okay, so let me tell you why you need to make it public, okay? When you decide to make this a business, if you really want to earn a real income, I think it's a big mistake to have your page as private because you're just not going to get the traffic and the friends of other people to see your post. You know, a lot of people are like, I have family pictures on there. I post private stuff. You might consider opening up a separate Facebook page that's just for your family to see and that you post, you know, post stuff on it, you have to start thinking of your Facebook page as your office, as your business. Mine is completely open. I actually went through, and there's some pictures in there of me. I'm in the military, and people want you to be a little private about that now. The government does, so I went and made those all private. And you get some, you're going to get some weirdos. You're going to get some weirdos. You just block them. There's nothing you can do about that. But if you're really trying to be serious about this, I would highly encourage you to make it public. And there's lots of YouTube videos from top coaches explaining why this is the way that you should do things. The second thing I want to talk about is interest groups. So the most successful coaches that you're going to have and the most successful challenges that you're probably going to have are going to be very similar to you. So you have to think about all the things that you like to do that aren't Beachbody, aren't fitness related. And, for instance, I like, running, or I like juicing, or I'm gluten-free, I'm highly allergic. So I'm in lots of those groups, or, people that are over 40. I mean, 40 and fabulous. I think I'm in a group there. So you just find people that are kind of at the same, that you probably would relate to, or you would have something to talk about other than Beachbody. And I go in there in these groups, and I usually ask a question that I know the answer to. Because people want to share information. So you go into these groups and you ask a question that you probably know the answer to, like, or for a recipe. Like, I go into my gluten-free group and I said, hey, does anybody have a good recipe for pizza dough, for gluten-free pizza dough that you've tried, that you love? I will get probably 50 responses. I mean, it blows up. It's crazy. And they'll attach recipes and they'll talk to you, and you just kind of go back and forth like, oh, hey, great, that's an awesome recipe. And, and you kind of go back and forth. Make sure you tag that person, because if you friend a bunch of people in an interest group, you're going to get put in Facebook jail. Maybe one person. If you've talked to them and you've tagged them and they've responded to you and things like, it's okay. But I've been in Facebook jail before, it's not fun. But that's what you're really trying to do, is don't market in there. Don't put like free challenge group, come, I'm a Beachbody coach. And you're going to see a million Beachbody coaches in some of these groups. You're going to see people that are like, oh, have you tried Shakeology? Like, I mean, they're just like product vomiting. And I don't mention any of that. Just get them to your page. Just get them to friend you. Write their name down on your list, okay? And then start commenting on their pictures. And maybe when you get to know them a little bit better, you can private message them. But if you message them or comment or like anything on their page, your stuff that you post on your page is going to start showing up in their newsfeed. And I can't tell you, I have a girl in one of my challenge groups now who's totally awesome. I met her in one of my gluten-free groups. She friended me, and she just watched me for about 6 months. And then finally, I developed the relationship and invited her, and now she's in a challenge group. So again, don't product vomit, just get them, just friend them. That's what you're looking for, is just those friend requests. But and you'll go a little crazy. You'll get like, you want to be in like 50 groups. I would just pick like 3 ones that you feel like people are active, they're interesting, you're interested, and just work those and try to go in maybe a couple times a week and friend request people and talk to people and just keep working that, and put it on your business activity tracker, is something that you have to do, that you're adding people. So that's my 2 cents. And I'll be quiet.
Yeah. Just going on the public profile. So I was like super weirded out by making my profile public, and I know this is dumb, but everything I thought about was like, oh my God, my ex-boyfriend's going to see this about my life and this ex-best friend. And I was like, oh my God, no way. But like Carla said, you can make certain posts like just friends only, or, you can have like a restricted list. So if you're posting something maybe about like your children that you don't necessarily want like the entire public to see, you can just make it like friends only, and it won't show up in your public profile. But obviously once I made my profile public, I was a little bit more cautious about things that I posted about my children. Like I never put like what school they go to, even if somebody asked me in the comments like, oh, what school do they go to? I don't respond. I don't put anything like that. Certain things I try to keep more private just because my page is public. But you can have the option to make post private or friends only if you want to.
Don't post your address.
Yeah, crop that out of the first day of school pictures. I always had to do that. I'm like, wait, there's my address. Hold on.
Or you could live in South Texas and no one's going to come here anyway. So.
You're funny. Okay, so let's see. How do you start each morning? Do you have a schedule for personal development and goal setting? If so, what is it? So, hold on, sorry. I forget the question as soon as I finish reading. Okay, how do I start each morning? So I just recently started really making business hours. So when I first signed up as a coach, and I'm sure everybody probably did this, I felt like I was on my phone 24/7, and Kelsey can vouch for me. Somebody would message me like, oh my God, I have to respond right now because they're going to buy a challenge pack. And if I wait 2 minutes, they're going to go to someone else. But recently I really tried to set business hours. And now that I have one of my kids is in kindergarten, I have more of a set schedule with them. And I spend 2 hours in the morning focused on my business. So inviting, adding friends, checking in with my challenge groups, doing all of that type of thing. And then I spend typically an hour in the afternoon if I can. And I use that to kind of check in with my coaches, answer all their questions, help them with whatever issues they have, because, sorry if my coach is on here, they'll ask me some questions that they can find themselves, and they're just kind of wanting to get the quick fix. And if I always constantly answer their questions, they're going to constantly be asking me 1,000 trillion questions, and it's going to be overwhelming for me. So I don't answer any of my coaches' questions when I'm working on my business. But anyways, as far as personal development, I get it in whenever I can. So it's not always in the morning. It's not always in the evening. It's kind of whenever. And then I typically spend time when we have team calls. I'll spend an hour, I'm saying 30 minutes to 45 minutes on the team call, and then 15 minutes just kind of checking in with my team page or answering whatever. If I have additional time, time outside of that, I'll work on Beachbody, but I don't necessarily sit on the computer and do that. I try to do stuff with my kids. But as far as goal setting, so my team just recently did this. We kind of did quarterly, where we set a goal for the month, we set a goal for the quarter, and then we set a goal for 6 months out. And we basically, as a team, we all shared these goals with each other. And then we kind of did a breakdown of how we were going to reach those goals. So whether it be a weekly goal, what do I need to do to hit the end of the month goal? But as far as other goals, a weekly goal, I do that on Sundays when I do my weekly planner. So, for instance, I'm sitting at SC2 this month. My goal for this week is obviously to invite like crazy, do follow-ups, to hit SC5. My goals kind of change weekly just based on where I am in the business and how I'm feeling about it. So typically, not this month, but I try to hit SC5 by the 15th of the month. And that way I can spend the last 15 days of the month focusing on my coaches and helping them. And I'm not stressed about hitting Success Club and all of that good stuff. But that's pretty much what I do. I don't make the schedule super strict on myself. Things happen. I mean, there's some days on Facebook where I post 3 times a day and I'm great about it, and there are a great variety of things. And there's times like today where I have one thing to post about, and that's okay with me. I do that. I mean, it happens. I'm not perfect. I can't stress about it. Hopefully that, I don't know. I guess that answered everything.
So guys, too, just so for you new coaches, the time that you would spend on your business as a new coach compared to someone at a 3-star level when you have a team of coaches is different. They're just know that, and it depends on what you're trying to do. And obviously, when you join a team, you're going to have access to a lot of materials that are already done for you. So you're not creating it really anything from scratch. And that's the great thing about having the uplines that you guys do is, a lot of that is already created for you. You're not out there on your own, but the amount of time that you spend is going to be different for everyone. It just depends on kind of where you're at in the business. So that's the only thing I would add to that.
And one other thing, I just thought of this totally random because you said a new coach. So when I first signed up as a coach, Kelsey, who was my sister-in-law, well, whatever at the time, she was one of my first coaches, and then my husband. And Kelsey and I know this sounds probably stupid now, we did like a photo shoot with each other. We had her, my brother-in-law, Michael, he was our photographer, but we acted like we were top coaches. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't have that attitude of like, oh, we're new. No, we were like, we're doing a photo shoot like those top coaches do. We're going to put our backs against. But that's what you need to do. Like, you need to take ownership of your business and just go with it. Because if you have self-doubt, everyone's going to know it on your Facebook page. You know what I mean? If you're like behind the camera, like, do it, okay? I mean, we did that. I'm not even joking. We had our little insanity shirts, and we went in the basement, and we did all. It was great. We had a pack and play in the background too. But and like she said, like you'll focus on different things. So when I first started as a coach, I seriously invited like there was no tomorrow. Like, I mean, it was crazy. That was like all I did. I mean, I had Kelsey as a coach, and my husband, who doesn't even own Facebook or have Facebook. So that kind of changed, but definitely just own your business and be like you are a top coach. You have to have that attitude. Sorry, that was totally random, but.
And so I'm reading all the messages from Carla, and like I said, if you guys do not have the Facebook groups app, if you do not have that app, you need to get it on your phone. Okay. I would even say, get rid of, you have your Messenger app, right? Turn off the notifications, or even take it off your phone, or even take your Facebook app off your phone and just put your groups. Because the groups, you can literally open it up. It's just your group. You don't get all the other weird notifications, and you just go down the list. Boom, 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 boom. And one of the things that I have learned, because my husband's like, can you stop this all the time? Like, I'm working hard, but I don't want to sacrifice my wife or my what. I don't want him to feel like he's second to the business. And he has said that to me before in the past. I mean, there probably is a lot of us on here. They're like, I don't really get this. And you're always on your phone, and you're going to answer right away. And, you're so excited about it. I totally get it. But, when your kids are like, Mom, hold on. Just let me finish this one. Let me take a picture of you. Wait, I gotta like change it on the filter, and I gotta add some text, and I gotta post, and then, but wait, oh, hold on. Oh, someone messaged me. Okay. Turn your ringer off. Seriously. Put it in the other room. You have to set business hours. You have to, because you're going to drive the people that live with you like crazy.
Yeah.
See, she's wrinkling her nose. I know. Ow, it itches. My husband's like, good. Is your family used to like going, cheese?
Oh, my daughter takes selfies now. She'll like pose as soon as you get a camera on. I'm like, ugh. I'm like, sorry. Kelsey knows.
Anyway,
all right. Sorry. I'm going to talk even faster now. Give me your best follow-up to, okay, tell me more. So I'm assuming that's after you send an initial invite, maybe? Okay, I don't know. So after I send an invite and then somebody says that they're interested, I pretty much follow the, I don't even know what it's called, the 5-step invitation process. I think there's a document about it. I follow that pretty much to a T. I ask them what their goals are, what they're currently doing, what interested them about the group, okay? And then I kind of just go from there, telling them how this is going to help them, or I I always try to be sympathetic. Like, I totally understand what you're going through. I've been there, or I know somebody who, I'll say like, oh, I had someone else who was going through that. I can't imagine, you want to be relatable and real with them without being salesy. So you try to drop like the whole sales pitch. I mean, I know a lot of people want to jump in like, okay, well, 21-day fix will be perfect. Like, okay, hold on. Get to know them, exactly what they're struggling with. When I first, Lydia, what is the 5-step invitation process? Is that like one of the documents?
Yeah, that's in there, and it's awesome. And it's just basically learning what, people's goals and what their needs are. I've encountered people that I've talked to that tell me what they're, what they're struggling with. They're not really struggling with anything. They were doing something. They've lost a ton of weight. They're happy. I'm like, basically they don't need you. I mean, it's okay. That might be a good person to be a coach with, but you have to find out what their goals are. And if you're not on the hunt for a sale, you won't be trying to like figure out what piece you can say to them to get them to buy something. I'm just like Kelly said, I'm straight up. I'm like, if you're struggling with this, or if you have this goal, here's how I can help you achieve it. And if they don't want it, on to the next, because you're still going to be doing what you're going to be doing.
So like the 5-step invitation process, it basically tells you what to say. And I'll never forget the first time I read it, I was like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever read in my life. I am not saying that. And I was like, all right, I'm going to do this one time and let's just see. And I'm not joking. I wrote her a message and I said, okay, like, what are your goals? Tell me what, you're struggling with now, and I got like a book back, and I was like, wait, oh my God, they actually responded like how they said they were going to respond. And I was like, oh, maybe this invitation process works, but when I first started, I was like, that's dumb. I'm not saying that. But if you ask people and you act, not act, but you are generally concerned with what they're doing and what they need to work on and where they want to see themselves in 6 months, they're going to tell you their whole life story. And you're going to find out things that maybe you don't want to know. You might turn into a psychologist sometimes, but they're going to open up to you and they're going to trust you. And from there, you can, you sympathize with them, you feel for them, and then you tell them exactly how you're going to help them. How you're going to help them feel better about themselves, or how you're going to help them overcome whatever it is. But, I've pretty much followed that. Definitely ask them what their goals are, what they're currently doing. That has to be one of your questions. You cannot just skip over that. And if they're interested, say, okay, great, we have the 21-day fix challenge group starting next Monday. Here's the link. That's not going to work.
Yeah, give me $160.
Yeah. You have to make them feel that you're trustworthy, that you're going to help them, and you're really, exactly what they're talking about and how this is going to help them. And they'll see the value once you do all of that. I mean, I get price objections, but I don't get a lot anymore, but that's because I think I've built the trust, and, and now that I've been coaching for so long, people see my Facebook page and know exactly kind of who I am and what I'm doing. And I don't get a lot of price objections. I do get people who say I don't have the money right now. When I do, I'll join the challenge group. But I think if you do those things, you'll notice a difference in the responses. Sorry, I don't know how to screen okay. Sometimes we have challengers who are on the fence between buying just the program or a challenge pack. What's the best way you have found that helps them see the challenge pack is the best choice? So for me, in the beginning, I don't give them a choice of just the program. I tell them, here's what the challenge group is, this is what you'll get, and this is what the price is. If they have an objection to the price, I either, one, explain to them that it's a total package. You have to be doing the nutrition part. You have to be doing the fitness part. You can't half-ass it, sorry. I mean, that's that reality of it. If you're working out and you're not eating right, you're not going to have results, or you're not going to have the same as somebody who is working out and eating right. So you can either be straight up with them and tell them that, like, it's a total package. You need this, this, and this. Or you can have them start with a fitness program if they're really rejecting the price and they really can't afford it, and but they really want to get started, you can offer just the fitness program. But like I said, I don't even offer just the fitness program in the beginning. I tell them exactly what the challenge group is, and that's kind of what it is. I couldn't tell you the last time I just sold a fitness program. And if they do have an objection, either, like I said, I tell them just the fitness program, I tell them, when you're ready, I'll be here, and they'll come back whenever they're ready. And I know you're probably like, yeah, right. They do.
One of the things too that you can tell people when they say that, and I've told people this, like, these are the tools that I know that work, because you'll get people that are like, well, can I drink my own, like a protein shake, or can I make my own smoothie? And so I have lots of other free groups that are 5 days, or options for them if they're not ready to commit. But in the 30-day group, I'm like, we're focused. We work together. We work through a program. We work on a nutrition. These are the tools that I use that work for me and have worked for countless other of my challengers. And this is what it is. And they'll either say yes or no. I can't, it's too much money, or I'll come back later. I have done packets before for someone, let them try it. And then at the end of 10 days, if they didn't buy a bag, come back next time. I have done it just depends on what, who it is. Sometimes I have people that are honestly really want to do it, and it didn't work out for them, or they might have had a program and I want them to try Shakeology, but they don't want to buy the whole bag. I mean, I help everybody, but just different levels, like you said.
Yeah. And I think that's one of those things that will depend on what they tell you their goals are and what they struggle. I mean, if they're struggling with nutrition and they, whatever, like, they need to have Shakeology. They need to be doing the total package. They can't, I know firsthand, trust me, I love soda. But you can't work out and not do that part and expect to lose 10 plus pounds in 21 days. I mean, that's not gonna work. Let's see. Sorry. How do you get the challenger or friend that will be an excellent coach to sign as one? It's like they can't see it in themselves, but you can. So, as far as turning challengers into coaches, one of the things that I do is, before even asking them about coaching or even introducing that idea, is if they're in a challenge group and I see that they're posting or they're sharing a lot or whatever it is, that their Facebook page looks a certain way and I think they'd be a great coach, I just send them a simple message about that. Like, hey, girl, thanks for, posting in the challenge group. You're super motivating and inspiring, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Nothing about coaching, okay? And that's you typically can spot these people in the first week of a challenge group, okay? And I'm sure all of you have seen different people. They might not be like somebody but you've seen people in a challenge group who just, right out of the gates, they're just like sharing their whole life story. They're sharing a recipe, or they're sharing a picture of their lunch, and you're like, ooh, can you make food for me? Or they're sharing about their workout. it comes natural to them, I guess. And sometimes it's hard for people to talk about themselves. I get a lot of people who I think would be great coaches, but they don't want to talk, like, oh no. So I kind of just open it with that. And then, as the challenge group moves on, maybe 2 weeks or 3 weeks into it, I just will send them a message and just say, like, hey, have you ever thought of doing what I do as a coach? Like, you're super inspiring and motivating in the challenge group. Like, I think you'd make an awesome coach. And I would probably say 80% of them, 85% come back with, oh no, you can be the coach. I'm good just being in the challenge group. And I'm like, oh, come on. I'll say, it depends on who they are. So if I really know them, I'll kind of push them a little bit more. If I don't know them, I'll kind of ask them, like, what their what are they worried about? Like, is it time? And I'll address those objections with them. I think, when I signed up as a coach, I just wanted the discount. I seriously did not want to work the business. And I've said this last week. I literally think I said to my husband, if Jatana messages me one more time, I'm going to unfriend her. And I'm famous for that. So I was literally going to unfriend her. I was like, gosh, she wants me to be a coach. And but just basically showing them why they would be a good coach. And you don't want to be too pressuring, because then they kind of sign up and then they don't really want to do it. And then they kind of back away and they're like, oh my God, I don't know what I signed up for. But if they do show any sort of interest, or they even question it, I'll say, well, why don't I put you into our coaching at a glance that's coming up. You can check it out and it'll kind of give you a better idea of what coaching is. And then we'll go from there. And a lot of people will say, oh, sure. And most people, I've never had anybody object to joining the coaching at a glance group. They'll join it. They don't necessarily have to join as a coach afterwards, but, it at least gives them that look. But I would say, I don't know how many I have, like maybe 35 coaches between my husband and me. And I'm almost certain 35 of them probably told me no in the beginning, or probably wanted to look more into it themselves. I'm pretty sure. Waranya, Kelsey. I mean, that's typical. You researched a little bit before you did it. Don't even start, Kelsey. But they didn't just like all say, yes, okay, I want to join you right away. It wasn't like that, So, and then just checking back with them. It's okay to follow up with somebody who was interested and then kind of didn't, and just say, hey girl, like, I have a new coach training starting. I just thought of you, like, just wanted to check in and see if you were ready yet. You're ready?
No, I was going to say something. I'm so ready. Also, like, I have a lot of coaches who add people into like our coaching at a glance, and they follow up with people, and then, they say not right now, or they don't even respond or whatever. And don't discount those people, even though they've been through a coaching at a glance, so you think they've gotten the information, but it could have been a really busy week for them, or, it just may not have been the right time. I have one girl who, she's been through a coaching at a glance. She was like an all-star challenger, and she still hasn't signed up to coach. And I talked to her, like catching up and reconnecting. And I mentioned something like, well, have you thought any more about coaching? And she's asking me questions like, well, how much is it to sign up? And I'm like, you've been through coaching at a glance. How do you not like, but some people just, now it just might be a good time for her, and it wasn't before, or now she's like finally clicked and decided she does want more information and to look into it. So don't discount those people. I mean, I think Libby said, how many times did Summer ask her before she actually decided to like go for it? So don't be afraid to reach out again. Okay.
Years.
No, it happens. Trust me. All right. Hopefully that answered. Was that whole question? Yeah. Okay. And then what would you post about besides Beachbody if you didn't have children? I have a dog, but can only post so much about my dog. I don't know anything about dogs. How is the best place to look? Okay. There's a lot of non-moms on here. Find things that interest you or that you're passionate about. It doesn't have to be about your children. It can be fashion, it can be organization, it can be whatever. And post about those things. Kelsey is not a mom, and her Facebook looks great, and you know exactly what she does. Waranya is not a mom, but there are lots of coaches who are successful, but I think just finding things that you're interested in. It can be sports, like I said, it can be anything along those lines, maybe those that aren't moms, because sorry, mine's all about my kids. Anybody want to share that's not a mom? No?
Well, I can tell you guys that if you don't have kids, share things that work for you. Like one of the big things I remember seeing, or just like stuff like dry shampoo. I mean, I can't use it because I have like curly, crazy hair and it doesn't work. But for all you straight-haired beauties, evidently the long tresses love the dry shampoo. Somebody posted the other day about this new, I don't know if it's Sally Hansen or I saw it. It's this new nail polish that's like the gel nail polish, but you don't need a light for it. And someone had tried it out and they're like, absolutely love it. I saw it at Target the other day and I put it back because I wasn't sure, because I was like, they're going to lie to me again. But someone's like, no, I tried it. I totally love it. Here, look at my nails. Or, I don't know, the lashes thing might be a little over, people are crazy about it. You say you wearing mascara, you're going to get a million of those lash people like hunting you down, putting you in their group. I would stay away from the lashes. But just, I can think as all the stuff that I went through as a single person, like just trying to go out and meet someone nice, or staying fit and keep it on track, but I like to be social, or I, want to look good in a bathing suit, or I'm going on a trip, or, there's just share your life and all the silliness with it, and just be humorous and don't be negative and don't post crap about politics. And you'll be just fine. Don't post politics.
Yeah. I typically, if it's not about my kids, it's typically about something I saw that day, or like a day like previous. Like today I saw a lady, this is so horrible, I shouldn't even share this, but I saw a lady leaving Barrett's school, and she was driving a minivan, and I'm anti-minivan, I'm so sorry, but it's just like one of these things that I've got going.
It's practical.
She had the door open to the minivan, and she's like cruising down a 45-mile-per-hour road. Of course, I'm like trying to snap all these pictures because I'm like, see why minivans aren't cool? And she just didn't close her, because everybody wants a minivan because they have those sliding doors. I'm like, oh yeah, they're
practical.
Cool. Until you leave them open and you're going 45 miles per hour.
I've never actually gone that fast, but they have been open before when I'm like backing up.
Oh no, she was definitely like turning on to our main. But anyways, sharing those things that you see throughout the day, or, whatever, because, we all see crazy things every day. But that definitely helps. Also in the beginning, and I do it now too, is everybody loves to give opinions and advice. Okay, I did a post once, and those who don't know me, I have a daughter, and I have 2 boys and then a girl. So when I had the girl, it was like this whole like, ooh, bows and all this stuff. But I posted about getting her ears pierced. Okay, clearly as a mom, I'm not going to get my daughter's ears pierced because Facebook people told me to. But I did this post about, when should I get Kylie's ears pierced? Oh my gosh. Okay, everyone and their mom and their aunt and their uncle and everyone had something to say about when to get the ears pierced. Okay, I didn't do it because they said that, or I didn't not do it, but people love to give advice, and that's a great way to generate like comments and relationships and get people onto your page, because they'll just go to town if you ask any piece of advice, and it doesn't have to be about your kids. It can be like what kind of shampoo to use, and everyone's like, oh my God, you have to use this one. So,
or what shoes to wear with the dress.
Right.
Do it tomorrow. Carl, do it tomorrow. But have like a dress and be like, should I wear, which one should I wear? I had a dress to go to Summit a year and a half ago. People freaked out. I posted a picture of the dress, and I'm like, which one should I wear? People were sending me links. Like, they're crazy. Try it. Be like, what shoe, even if you're just going out, just seriously, just going out, hold your little shoes up like this and go, which one, A or B?
Yeah.
And see what happens.
Color, hairstyle, what shirt to wear with what pants. You all know. You all love to give opinions too. Don't lie. You're
and we're women. That's what we like. Like, no, don't wear that. That makes you look bad.
Right. But anyways, okay, that was all that I saw. Questions? Anybody have any other questions they thought of? No? We good?
Are you going to make me like go through and call people out again?
It's 9:50. And I talk fast.
Nobody has, no.
Oh.
Jeannie asked all the questions. Go, girl.
No, someone has a question. Holly. Well, she's waving at me. Hey! No, she has a question.
Holly.
Hi, guys. I'm thinking about doing a challenge group that involves the on-demand. What are your thoughts on that?
Go, Libby.
Okay. You really want me to go? Okay. So I actually use this in my 5-day challenge. And what I do is it's like a Shakeology. Like you can buy, so I've done this before. I don't do it every month, but I do where you can buy packets. And so honestly, I mean, I know this sounds terrible, but my husband has to buy Shakeology. He doesn't drink it every day. So I get the box of packets. And then I do free group and sell them all in 1 month, and I pay my money back. So it's like, sometimes I just do it to get rid of my packets because I normally just sell challenge packs. But when you start to have 4 and 5 boxes of Shakeology in your pantry because your husband doesn't exactly drink it every day, it's a way to get rid of it. So what I've recently been doing is doing bod challenges. So sometimes when you just do a 5-day challenge, or and they sign up for Beachbody On Demand, and you let them know like, hey, you just do 1 workout a day from there. I've done like a roulette style thing, like, okay, so, a Shaun T workout, a Tony Horton workout, or they're doing these things in there now called trainer exclusives. And so they're like little 7 to 10 minute challenges that you can do. So you can make it fun. And honestly, for new coaches, I think it's easy to get people to sign up for that. And a lot of times people end up loving it and they keep the service. So it's a way, I think, for new coaches to earn an income. And it just seems to be easier. I mean, like just at this last challenge that I did, I think I had 6 people sign up for Beachbody On Demand. So you think about it, if half of them or even one, I mean, still, it just compounds. So you'll see on your income, your earnings statement, your commission statement, that you'll start to see that compound, and you'll have like $90 in Beachbody On Demand, when it kicks over and they have to buy it again. So it's just another opportunity to increase your revenue stream and get people exposed to the workouts. And, so I don't know if I answered your question, but because Mr. Awesome's smiling at me, so maybe I didn't. But yes, I use the Beachbody On Demand, and I just, I posted like, okay, challenge, I think I did 2 on-demand challenges. So I posted, one was the abs workout from Shailene Extreme. It was like really short, it was 10 minutes or something. And we just posted that we did it, so it was like, drink your shake and do your Beachbody challenge. It was real basic. It wasn't a lot, but it was fun. They enjoyed it. It wasn't overwhelming. It wasn't like a program, at first. And then they kind of want more. They love the group and they're like, yeah, I can do this. So.
Thank you.
Does that answer your question on a way to use it?
Yes, thank you.
Are you sure you're just not just like, yeah, shut up. I totally get what you're telling me.
I'll message you if I think of anything.
Okay, let me go mute myself.
Anyone else? Oh, Orania. I can't unmute people.
Okay, hold on. Let me unmute you. There you go.
I actually have a question for Libby. You said that you were in the military, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I know we've talked about a whole bunch of like spouses and boyfriends and whatnot, but like he really doesn't care for it. He was just like, whatever, I work out on myself. And like I want to try to get him to like understand like where I'm coming from, but he's usually like TDY a lot. So I'm like, well, we can't work out anymore and all this stuff, but he usually just works out for PT anyways. And I'm starting to like be like, hey, let's do it together. But how do I actually like just tell him, just be like, it works, or what, like try to make him understand it really.
Show him that it works.
He sees it.
My husband was the same way. My husband's the same way. I mean, men are very, I'm sorry for any men that are on here, but my husband was very like, I go to the gym and lift weights for 3 hours, and then I go run. I mean, it was like some extreme program. And so I did T25 and I lost like 30 pounds, just in 10 weeks. I mean, it was amazing. And I felt better, I mean, you just have to show them. I mean, some of the top coaches in this company had husbands that were or boyfriends that were extremely, not hot on the business. And once they got amazing results and once they started making money, they were like, oh, I guess this really isn't a joke. I mean, he would not be the first husband to say that. And they kind of have their own little routine and they don't want you to really mess with that routine. And so I would just show him and be like, look how awesome I'm doing. Like, look what I'm a part of. Because then they tend to want to do it. And also it's a lot of women. And so they don't necessarily meet a lot of the men involved. Like, some of the husbands are super involved and they have their own challenge groups, but generally Beachbody is, the most successful men in Beachbody work with women. It's just how it is.
So just going off of that, I'm not military, but so my husband works out at the gym. He does not need any motivation. whatever. He's done that for years. So when I joined as a coach and when I first started actually like being a coach, I'll never forget, we had a group of friends over and I'm talking about it. My husband seriously says this to everyone. Shakeology is so dumb. It's so expensive. Who would ever pay for it? And I'm like, oh my God, what are you doing? Like, you cannot say that. And, you know, as time progressed, now he still does not do any workouts with me. I think we did like T25 one time and he's like going left and right and oh my, it was so cool. I was like, go back to the gym and go lift your weights. I'll be here. But, you know, now that I've stuck with it and he's seen like the benefits and not just the financial, but you know, just how I am about it and everything like that. Now he knows, I mean, he doesn't have Facebook at all, but he knows how to go into Coach Online Office and tell me how many active coaches I have and who's set up for this. He kind of strategizes with me about like, hey, you've kind of like plateaued for a while with your business. Like, what are you doing to like, you know, but like now he's all into it. But Kelsey can vouch. I don't mean to say like my husband's an a-hole, but you know, he's just very like he just doesn't want to do T25 or 21-day fix with me. And I just know that. Like he's not going to. But, you know, he sees what it does for me or other people and, you know, he's supportive that way, you know. But don't beg them to work out with you because they're just probably going to hate you at the end anyways and be like, seriously?
Yeah, like I would ask him to like, when he comes home from work, I'm like, did you work out today? He was like, no. But I'm like, he still has like all these abs and muscle definitions. And I'm like, how do you just like work out for a month and then not work out? And then you still have all this definition and I don't know.
He's in his 20s.
He's 29.
Oh, it's all going downhill next year. I'm just
saying.
All right. Anybody else have any questions? Good. Sorry I took forever.
You guys are funny. It was like a little party. I feel like I should have a glass of wine or something.
Oh, you didn't?
I got to run tomorrow.
Okay. And then one last thing before we jump off. You have to do trial and error. So you just have to do the things. And not every post you do is going to be wonderful. Trust me, when Kelsey and I first started, and like find somebody that you can kind of run things off of. You know, Kelsey and I would text message each other. Does this sound stupid? Like, is this a good post? Like, what do you think? You know, we would do posts and we'd be like, ooh, that was a really dumb idea. Like, that didn't work, you know? And that's okay. You know, eventually you'll figure out what works and what doesn't work for you, because what works for me or what works for somebody else may be totally different. So do trial and error. Just do it. I mean, you're never going to be successful or figure it out if you're not doing anything. So, you know, anyways, okay, I'm done. I'm shutting up. Bye. Good night.